It's not that I'm changing my pick. My pick was my pick. I can't change it. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you that the Knicks are going to win the series. I'm not changing my pick. Okay, I'm just saying the Knicks are going to win the series.
Okay, so you're not going to go bragging if the Knicks win the series because that wasn't your pick.
Yeah, nah. I would I do something like that?
Yes. No, yeah, it seems like Garland's, Mitchell's sort of doing him like LeBron was doing Kyrie. Like he's kind of little boying him, you know, scooping his head and stuff.
That's a great comparison. And then Maxey. Is he just a little bit overrated? Just a little bit? If the Kings win Game 4, we will see the beam from here. We will see the beam from North Carolina.
The beam will not be lit. The beam is not lit in our road game. The beam
I think it is.
No, it's not. It's only home.
I don't know. I bet you. Oh, you know what? I bet you they light it Sunday if they win. I bet you they light it.
This is former Chicago Bear Desmond Clark. And y'all hear me on many podcasts, but when y'all hear me on Pick'em Pros, y'all know it's all about family. This ain't just business.
Coming back tonight. We're coming back tonight. We're going to tie it up 2-2, go back to Golden State, then 3-2, and then we're going to control the series.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know who it is. I am Derek Thompson.
And I'm Diego Thompson.
And who are we?
We're the Pick'em Pros.
We are the Pick'em Pros coming back at you in the house. Father-son dynamic duo. We are sports talk by the fans, for the fans, talking football, basketball, all that good stuff. But right now, it's all about basketball because we are in the midst of the NBA playoffs. So excited about all we're going to talk about. We've been picking all the series and games, and it's just a great time of year. We're coming at you from North Carolina, Raleigh, Clayton, North Carolina area. Again, Carolina Hurricanes. You know we're going to get the championship. We're representing. This guy's, wearing his Golden State Warriors gear, so you know who's he.
I don't know if I'd be repping the Hurricanes after they got blown out last night.
That's fine. Okay, first of all, that's hometown. But we're up 2-1, so we're good. The Hurricanes are good.
Really? Now you're acting like you're a hockey guy.
I am a hockey guy. I am a hockey guy for sure. All day, every day. All right. But, and speaking of North Carolina, again, we mentioned Clayton, North Carolina. We are now sponsored by Zaxby's of Clayton. So shout out to Rob and all the crew at Zaxby's. We'll be there filming again very soon. But I want to give them some love and thanks for your support and supporting Pick'em Pros. All right, we ready to get into it?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. So, man, it's NBA time. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about every series. All the series are in the middle of the series right now or about to end. So it's Saturday, April 22nd, the morning of right now. So we have a full slate of games. This will probably come out either later that night or first thing Sunday, the 23rd, depending on editing time. But anyhow, man, first of all, I want to give a shout out, staying with the theme of our hometown team, the Charlotte Hornets. So I want to give a big shout out to Kelly Oubre. We were at a Hornets game toward the end of the season, and we've been fortunate enough to go to a lot of games recently. And I've had pretty good seats, kind of been there, in the midst of the players and whatnot. And Kelly Oubre was phenomenal. I want to give him a big shout out, give him a lot of love. He actually threw a towel to you at the game. And again, we're by the fans, for the fans. Just want to kind of express how cool that is, when the players do that. So many, you're so locked in, understandably so, they're playing and whatnot, don't really acknowledge the fans a lot. But Kelly Oubre went out of his way to acknowledge so many different fans, especially the kids. So he threw towels out to so many different people. It was just really engaging. So we appreciate that, appreciate the love. So big shout out to Kelly. Definitely one of our favorites now. So big shout out there. All right. Well, man, let's get into a couple topics before we talk about the games and the series that are going on let's talk about one other topic first. The Toronto Raptors and Nick Nurse being, I don't know, let go, him leaving, however you want to call it. They're not being very clear on that. What's your take on Nick Nurse and everything that's going on?
Yeah, well, it says that they fired him, which was kind of odd because he said he was thinking about leaving after the season, depending on how it went. So I think they didn't want to have that look on the resume, so they just fired him before he was able to make a decision. So I feel like that's kind of messed up, kind of after all that he did for him, getting the championship, having number 1 seeds in the East and all that. So so that was really interesting. Yeah, it was interesting.
Like you said, they won a championship recently. You know, to do that in Toronto was huge. It's hard for them to get free agents. You know, the GM had a pretty extensive press conference the other day, and seemed like he was trying his best not to call Nick Nurse out by name, but definitely seemed to take some shots at him. They seem to have an issue with the culture. They don't like the attitude of the team. They did lose to the Bulls came back from like 19 down in that play-in game. They feel, at least management feels, that the team just isn't engaged and just isn't into it. So I know we have a lot of, you know, people in Canada, Raptor fans that watch the show. We got a lot of flack when we, you said, I think the Raptors were going to be 10.
And they were.
In the East. And I said they were going to be 9, which at the end of the regular season, they finished 9. So we were pretty much spot on with that. A lot of Raptors fans had high hopes. They were saying Toronto was going to finish 4th.
Yeah, like high, at least in the playoffs, weren't even above the play-in.
Yeah. We did not see that, not because of coaching or anything like that. It's just that Toronto hasn't added to that roster.
Yeah, they kept it because like the Cavs got Mitchell, the Knicks got Brunson, the Celtics and Bucks all got better, but they just sort of stayed the same. So and you can't really do that in the NBA. People are always adding. So especially
right now, I mean, there's so many moves happened in the East with Mitchell coming over to the East, the Knicks getting Brunson. That was obviously a huge pickup. So, so many things happened in the East for them to just stand pat and then feel that. And also, Scotty Barnes, as we said, we didn't really see as much as a lot of other people did. I wonder if the Raptors still feel the same way, because Scotty Barnes, remember, was untouchable as far as the trade for KD. That seemed, interesting. So, but I like love the Raptor fans, and they have some pieces, but they've got to add to that roster. So
they need a star, and Barnes has to make the leap that people thought he was going to make this year. For them to be able to do stuff. So
for sure. For sure. So it looks like Udoka will probably end up being the coach. I know he has a good relationship with general manager. How do you think Udoka would do with that team?
Well, he would. I think he kind of fits in a little bit with that because they've been kind of known to be just pesky, and defense and all that. And his specialty is defense, so he'll make sure they're a really good defensive team. He'll be able to cover up some of the talent gaps if they don't add to the roster. So I feel like they'll be better with him. I just don't know how good they're going to be, because he doesn't have Tatum and Jaylen Brown like they did with the Celtics. He has Scotty Barnes and Siakam.
Right.
So it's going to be different, but I think they'll be at least better.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that, see what happens. We're curious to see if Udoka would be the coach or if they go in another direction, and also curious to see what they do as far as picking up new talent. So we'll keep an eye on that. Shout out to our Toronto Raptor fans there. All right, some of the more passionate fans in the league, so we really, really like them. All right, well, let's get into the playoffs. We're going to start with the Eastern playoffs, and then we'll move to the Western Conference. So let's start East. So first, let's go into the best series of the East. We're going to start with the best one. That's Cleveland Cavaliers, New York Knickerbockers. That is, 2-1 Knicks are up 2-1. You picked the Cleveland Cavaliers to win this series. Was it 7?
Yes,
did you say? Okay, so we did pick a 7-game series. So that could be the case. But
I think they can get one in New York.
Okay. So
they won one in Cleveland, and they'll win one in New York.
So the Garden was jumping last night. Friday night, the Garden was amazing. Brunson had a good game. R.J. Barrett had a good game. You know, just across the board, they had a good game. The Cavs, for the most part, had a bad game. But, yeah, Game 4 is going to be critical. Definitely a must-win for the Cavs. And that game is at 1 p.m. on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Sunday. So you think that the Cavs can get this win, Game 4?
Yeah, I think they need to. And here's the thing about the Cavs. They're kind of up and down because Mitchell's going to be pretty consistent for the most part, but Garland is kind of inconsistent. And some of the other guys they have can be some kind of inconsistent, but when they're on, they're really, really good. Yeah. And I think this is going to be one of the games for them. Like, no one's really expecting anything. They kind of think the series is over, and they're just going to come out of nowhere, and everyone's going to lose their mind. So I feel like they get this one, tie it up 2-2, go back to Cleveland.
How many points does Mitchell go for in this Game 4?
Might go for 40.
40.
Okay. I think he probably get at least 40.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he definitely goes for 40. I think he's gonna go crazy and lose his mind. Man, I don't know though.
Garland goes for at least 30.
I mean, it's a must-win for Cleveland, so I like Cleveland's odds as far as that goes. But man, I feel that the Knicks have figured them out. I don't think this is a good matchup for Cleveland. Cleveland was is a very dangerous team overall for the Eastern Conference. I think they match up well against Boston. I think they're dangerous for a lot of other teams. I don't think they match up well with the Knicks, although I agreed with you and went with the Cavs pick. I don't think it's going to end up that way. I think the Knicks are going to end up winning this series. I think that's how it's going to end up shaking out. They just look way too strong. And again, Brunson, you know.
Hold on. So if the Cavs win, I don't want to hear you like, well, my original pick was the Cavs. I did switch some. But then if the Knicks win, it's going to be like, oh, that's why I changed my pick. So you're gonna have it either way.
It's not just for everyone. I'm analyzing the series, and from what I see, they are not.
Your pick.
It's not that I'm changing my pick. My pick was my pick. I can't change it. Okay. I'm just telling you that the Knicks are going to win the series. I'm not changing my pick. I'm just saying the Knicks are going to win the series.
Okay, so you're not going to go bragging if the Knicks win the series because that wasn't your pick.
Yeah, no. Would I do something like that?
Yes.
No.
I feel like you would, but you can't because then you're winning either way. So you can think that in your mind, but you can't say it on the show.
I would never do anything like that. I would never do anything like that.
Yeah, dude.
No.
Yeah.
But I will have fun yelling during the games about how amazing Brunson is, just to mess with you.
Oh yeah.
Because again, we got
Brunson.
Brunson hater.
Brunson's so Brunson. He's always been kind of overrated. When it was with Luka, it was like, okay, he's a really, really good second option. He's gonna get paid. I'm like, dude, he's not all that good. Okay, and then he proved me wrong. Okay, he was good, but then the expectations got raised. Like, oh, he's an all-star. It's like, dude, he's not an all-star. It's like, okay. It's like, okay, and then they're like, oh, he's a superstar. And it's like, dude, he's not a superstar.
Nobody said he was a superstar.
Yes, people have said he's a superstar.
He's not. He is an all-star.
He
wasn't
even an all-star.
I do feel he's third team All-NBA this year.
He's not All-NBA. He's not an all-star. Yeah. He's not a star. He's none of that.
Yeah, I think he's. One other thing before we move on to the next series, because this is a really good one. Mitchell. I want to touch on Mitchell and just his leadership with the team again. So you still think the Cavs are going to win?
Yeah, they blew him out in Cleveland.
How do you feel about Mitchell? Because, he's starting to sound like LeBron now. He's like, my team, as the leader of this team, my guys. He's getting all that. Is he a little too big and too much for the room right now?
Yeah, well, I think he's going in that direction. I wouldn't say he's there yet, but he's leaning. He's leaning in that direction because if he keeps going, then. Yeah. But it's because he was with Utah, and Utah, they're not really a big market team, but they had gone to the finals. They had some playoff success. But he wasn't really all like that there. But now he's with Cleveland, who hasn't really done anything in 5 years since they had LeBron. So he's acting like he's the veteran leader and like, oh, it's the leader of this team, and like he's taking responsibility, but I feel like he's taking a little. It's too much, not too much. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so not too much yet. Okay,
not too much responsibility, but he's making it a lot about himself. You know, and he's sort of leaning in that direction.
Leaning that way. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic between him and Garland. Yeah, you know, because I feel Garland he sees himself as that type of player.
Yeah, he was the leader last year and almost got into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I mean, it seems like Garland's Mitchell's sort of doing him like LeBron was doing Kyrie. Like he's kind of little boying him, you know, scooping his head and stuff.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. Exactly what it's looking like.
Yeah, so. I like that. Yeah.
But I don't know. But Garland got paid last offseason, so I mean, there's nothing really he can do. So he's just kind of got to sit there and take it for a couple of years.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next game. We stayed on that one for a while. But let's get into the next series here. We have the Boston Celtics. Wow, these guys, you know, that law firm of Tatum and Brown.
Yeah, the law firm that lost to Trae Young. Really, Trae Young. The crowd was chanting overrated.
Yeah, he is overrated.
Okay, so you lost to an overrated player.
Yeah.
And there's trade room. He's probably not even going to play there next year.
Yeah, it was game 3.
He's probably going to play for like the Bulls or something.
It was a must-win for Atlanta. You know, game 3, crowd is hype. Okay, that was their one win for the series. That was their one win.
I don't know, man. They got some momentum.
Did we have, but hold on. When we picked this, okay, so this is Celtics versus Atlanta Hawks. Okay, clearly. Celtics are up 2-1. Their game 4 is Sunday, 7 p.m. All right. Didn't we pick the Celtics in 5?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Why did we pick the Celtics in 5?
Because we thought the Hawks were going to win.
Okay. Yep.
But what game?
This is looking a little interesting. And what game did we think Atlanta was going to win?
Game 3.
Thank you. That's the see in typical law firm style of Tatum and Brown. See how I just pieced that together? Woo, man, come on now.
Seriously?
Come on now. Boston Celtics, man. Style? That's right. I should say in typical Tatum and Brown style. You know, I pigeonholed you. I just put you in the corner right there. Anyway, you'll learn something. It's all good. Really? All right. So, man, it's really nothing else to say about this. They're going to win in 5. They're going to go ahead and take care of business game 4, and they'll move on. However, I will say, to be objective about it, I mess around with you, but to be objective, I don't like the fact that they blew that game. You know, I want to see more killer instinct. To give up 130 points is unacceptable with all of the supposedly great individual defenders that you have on Boston. They switched too much, and they should not have let the Hawks off the hook. We knew that was going to happen, but it still doesn't make it right. I love the killer instinct that the Denver Nuggets came out with. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. So I don't like that about the Celtics. And to take it one step further, I don't think that would have happened with Udoka.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I think this would have been a sweep under Udoka.
I think this new coach is a little more relaxed than Udoka. And, and I like, because we thought they were going to give him a game, but I mean, and I don't think they're the same team defensively as they were last year. So no. So that may end up costing the Celtics in the long run. Yes, so we will see. All right, so let's move on to the other 2 series in the East. Aren't quite as exciting, but we still have to one is interesting.
Talk well for other reasons, yeah. But let's move on to the Milwaukee Bucks Miami Heat first. This series is 1-1. Game 3, 7:30 p.m. Saturday night, just tonight. So we picked the Milwaukee Bucks. How many games did we pick them in?
I think it was 5 or 6.
I think it was, I think it was 5. I think it was 5. I think we did give the Heat culture. We figured they'd steal a game. They already stole the game. However, Giannis, the Freak, did get hurt. Not sure of his status. You know if he's playing?
I think he's questionable.
Questionable. Okay, so we'll see what happens there. But still have the Bucks.
Yeah, of
coming
course.
out of here.
Of course, I still have the Bucks.
No
they're my favorite to win the East, and they're looking good because in the first game, the Bucks don't traditionally play well in game ones, and Giannis did get hurt. But I feel like with how deep they are, because I know there was that game earlier in the year when Giannis got injured very early in the game, and they blew Miami out by 40 with everyone else, with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
So I feel like they can still be without Giannis and win this series. Like now if they play like Cleveland, then I don't think that's gonna happen. But still, this is. I think they can get by a Miami in 5, like I predicted. Yeah,
I think they get by even without Giannis. I think they still beat them. I mean, they beat them down in game 2 without Giannis and took care of them. And the Heat aren't going to show up every game, which is strange for a team that's supposed to have the culture that they have. Why they disappear certain games is a whole nother story. But we'll see. I think they'll definitely be up for this game 3. If they're going to get another game this series, it will be game 3, but outside of that, I think the Heat will be done, and they're going to take care of the Bucks will take care of business. All right. So the last game, the Eastern Conference that we're going to talk about, we have the Philadelphia 76ers Wild versus those Brooklyn Nets. This game is 3-0. Potential sweep coming up. They actually play 1 p.m. Saturday, 1 p.m. today. So that game's going to start pretty soon. Game is in Brooklyn. A lot of controversy about flagrant fouls and all that good stuff. We know Embiid is out for the game, but what's up with this series?
Yeah, well, I think it is going to be a sweep, like I predicted. They'll win in Brooklyn. Okay. Because I think Brooklyn's kind of lost all hope. Because I could just see as they were walking to the locker room, they just looked really dejected. Because they had the game. They were up 6 with like 2 minutes left to go. And they completely, it was crazy. Like they were throwing balls in the other direction for wide open dunks for Philly and leaving Maxey wide open threes, even though he was hot, the whole game. So because Maxey can be streaky, but he was hot that game, and they just continued to leave him open. So they got to find out how to defend but
so there's a couple things I want to touch on that you mentioned. So one, throwing the ball in the other direction, that was the cutter's fault. That wasn't the passer's fault.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Why? And I know you know that, but it's like, okay, why are you cutting back to the basket when you had to have a 3?
They were down 3.
Right. So I could see faking to the basket, but ultimately where you end up, you got to go out to the 3-point line. So that's why the guy that was inbounding the ball thought he was going to cut out to the 3-point line. But yeah, they totally blew that. And then Maxey.
What do you have to say about Maxey?
You know how I get on this. Okay, very good player. Okay, very good player. So you know where I'm going. If you say, oh, good player and all that, you know a shot's coming. And we did see him in person, and he played well, but is he just a little bit overrated? Just a little bit?
I mean, well, they're saying I don't think he'll be a 3rd option for a champion. But I mean, he has the potential to be. I mean, he has the potential to be the 3rd on a scoring, but he's not consistent enough. He's not. He's like one day he'll give you 40, and the next day he'll give you like 10 on 3 of 20 from shooting. So
and
I don't think he's consistently going to be that guy, which is why.
Yeah, and I don't. If he's your 3rd guy, you're not winning the championship.
Yeah, no.
In my opinion,
he's too inconsistent to be that way. But.
Right, and so that's also another reason why I say he's over. So I don't want to really take a shot at him. I won't take a shot at anybody, but I think more to the Sixers is more of my issue because. Okay, y'all, pumping them up, which, hey, is on your roster, you need to do that. But I just hope they understand that, okay, if that's your 3rd guy, then you're not winning the championship.
Yeah, they got to realize.
So that's my only thing. But, yeah, there's just so much. I just hear all this praise. I'm going,
Yeah, he's interesting.
I don't know. There have been other people that have been more overrated. I'm not gonna name any names, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. All right, but that definitely ends in I'm going to say since Embiid's not playing, I'm going to say that ends in 5.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the Nets have some life.
I do. Because what I will give them credit for is that they're a team of role players. Okay, so it could go the opposite direction, but I don't think they want to get swept. And especially, hey, your boy Dinwiddie,
Seriously? We're talking about Spencer Dinwiddie.
But listen to this. He's been talking a whole lot of junk, right? On Twitter.
Yes, indeed.
How much ammunition is Kyle Kuzma gonna have? And what is Kuzma gonna be saying to him on Twitter if they get swept? Especially with no Embiid.
Yeah, I know that's gonna be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you make a point. You make that's a. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So I think they're gonna come out and play. The Sixers are a totally different team without Embiid. Harden can do that old, hey, pat that ball, shoot it for stretches. Can he do it for a whole game? I don't know. So, we'll see. But I have to pick the Nets for this one, and then the Sixers close it out in 5. That's what I see happening there. All right. Well, let's move on to the West. Oh, man, the West is so good. And, yeah, just pound for pound, definitely the more entertaining conference to watch right now. So we got 4 series going on. Let's start with the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. This one looks like it's potentially on the verge of a sweep. Don't want to steal all your ammunition. So they play game 4, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. What's up with this series?
I mean, this is, I respect Denver a lot because this could have easily been a game that they could have just, kind of coasted through, knowing that they could get them in game 4 and then come back to Denver in game 5. But they want to give them no life, and I like that. And I like that attitude, especially in the playoffs when you're going to need it down the stretch. And Minnesota.
We picked this one in 7, by the way. Yeah,
we picked it in 7 because I thought this would be a good matchup, and they had 2 big guys to sort of guard Jokic, and Ant-Man. And Ant-Man has been losing his mind. Ant-Man's played really, really well, and I feel bad for him because it's just kind of going to waste. Because I don't know what it is. Like, they can't play defense.
Yeah.
They can't play defense. And Cat, dude, Cat's been way too inconsistent in these playoffs. It's been like he looks like a top, one of the most skilled big men in the league at one point. Then he'll look like a shell of himself and score 2 points.
But I tell you, as far as Cat, I believe in Cat. I really believe in Cat. I like him a lot. I think it's more coaching. I feel that you give Cat the right coach, I think he'll be a lot better. But I believe in Cat. I believe in him.
And it is coaching. Because they, year after year, it's been the last 2 years, they just keep blowing big leads. And they took a big step back this year. Because last year, they were looking promising. They had they had Ant-Man, Karl Anthony Towns, D'Lo, Beasley, Vanderbilt, McDaniels, the whole crew, and they could have easily beat Memphis in that series, and now they took a big step back getting Gobert, and his teammates don't really seem to like him, and they gave him 4 picks, and they're paying him a max deal.
They were on a championship trajectory.
Yeah, if they got the right coaching, then they would have.
They were on path to win a championship in a couple years with what they had, the pieces that they had, the picks, everything. They were set up so nicely, and management and coaching have totally tanked that. And now, hey, they may lose Ant-Man.
Yeah, I would, me personally, I would suggest them to leave. And to go somewhere else, because I just don't think this Minnesota is gonna work well for them.
You can't blame them. Now, is it salvageable? I think it is, but they've got to, number one, they've got to get a new coach. Number one, they have to get a new coach and make at least one decent move this offseason. And I think they can buy themselves some time to at least have a better season and build some confidence with their core of Ant-Man and Cat. If they can do that, I think they can recover, but it's going to take a lot. And I hope they do, because I really like the Timberwolves story, and I want them to be good. I want them to be relevant. And I love for Cat and Ant-Man to be able to do it together. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. The odds are definitely stacked against them.
Yeah, and they have no picks to trade.
Nah. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, it's really, really
But hopefully, but they have to nail it with the coach. They had, and I don't know who they get. I don't know. Maybe because defense seems to be a recurrent problem.
Yes.
That might be the answer. That actually is a great thought.
Yeah.
They may want to go after him. So they may want to go after him. They may have to make some other adjustments as far as front office personnel if Udoka's gonna be there. But still, okay. But yeah, that might end up being a good move. So we'll have to see. All right, Udoka. All right. Okay. So let's move on to the next series here. Man, these are just bangers going forward. Woo! The Phoenix Suns versus the LA Clippers. Man, it's so much to talk about in this one.
Oh yeah.
We picked the Suns in 5.
Clippers.
We picked the Suns in 5. That looks like that is going to happen. But go ahead and give your take, and I'll jump in from here. Game 3 is today, Saturday, 3:30 p.m. But go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So at the beginning of the year, I did pick the Clippers go to the conference finals. And I bet a lot of you listening and just everyone can understand why I would pick that, because they're deep, they're talented, it's great, but they can't last. Kawhi was load managing all year for this moment, and he still got injured. He lasted 2 games. Seriously? And his injuries now, it's like you don't even know when he gets hurt. It's like you wake up and the day it's like, oh, he's hurt. Like what?
That's the weirdest thing about him. Those are the most. And hey, I'm sure it's even more aggravating for the player and the organization. So I get that. But again, we're fans. We're show by fans for fans. So we're talking from a fan's perspective.
Yes.
And we're like, okay, as a fan, all right. If I wake up and hear that you're out and injured, I kind of want to be able to point to a player. So I want to see you like come out of the game. I don't want to see you hurt. Clearly, we're not saying that.
But I mean, if you're gonna be here, and now he's out at game 4, so I don't know if he's coming back the rest of the series.
Probably not. Probably not. But it's just even more aggravating when it's like, okay, the game is over. It happened. You're moving on. And then a day or two later, then you hear, oh, yeah, the player's out. And it's like, okay, what happened?
Yeah, like, when did he get injured? Like, and at least for Paul George, you saw him get injured and you saw him laying on the ground. It's like, okay, you know he's out.
Right. And again, we're not advocating. We don't want to see gruesome injuries, nothing like that. We're not saying we want to see people on the ground. But it's just very odd when you don't actually see the injury. Yeah. And it's something that in a game of this magnitude, and then the player's not going to play.
And they're saying it didn't happen in practice.
Right.
Yeah, and he looked fine. So.
Yeah, so that's
really
bad.
weird.
But again, when we had the show, we may play the clip. When we had the show, we were given our preseason predictions. That's why I did not go with the Clippers, because of the injury history. I just could not. And it's crazy because the Clippers would have won this series, even without Paul George, just Kawhi alone. That's how amazing Kawhi is.
Yeah,
they were going to win the series.
They had Kawhi, and then Westbrook is looking really good.
Yes.
Westbrook, and like, he hasn't played defense in about 3 or 4 years. Yes. And now all of a sudden he's blocking shots, he's getting steals, and he dropped 38 and 12. And
yes. So okay, so
playing really good.
Teachable moment. So what does that tell you about defense?
That you need defense to win.
No, but from an individual standpoint, what does it take to be a good defense? Yes. Because how is he all of a sudden doing it now?
heart.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Because he had it in him, but
yes. So man, but yeah. So sad, man, because this was going to be an amazing series. Yeah. And I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, man, we got this thing wrong. But then again, just pause, wait for it. Just right on cue. Bam.
Wait for it.
There it is. And now the Suns will end up actually winning in 5. So that's crazy.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on to another series that is so fun to watch, and it's just going to be amazing. This one's 10 o'clock Saturday night, Game 3. The Memphis Grizzlies, Los Angeles Lakers, and Lala. Junk talking. Oh, my goodness. You know, is Ja going to play? So many narratives. Take this one away.
Yeah, well, the Grizzlies. I still got the Grizzlies winning, of course. With or without Ja, because I feel like they're still a really good team without Ja. They can beat them, and you know, I like the trash talk between Brooks and LeBron, because Brooks is like, yeah, I don't care, he's old, I don't respect him until he gives me 40 and all that. So, which is
a little odd. I'm like, 40, okay, couldn't be 30. Like, had to be for like what Brooks? Why didn't you just say 60? But anyway.
Yeah, 40. Like, when someone scores 40 on you, it's kind of embarrassing. So, I mean, that's an odd number to say, but still, yeah, man, still winning the series. I wonder if Ja's gonna play. I still feel like they're good without him. So, yeah, that's pretty much my take.
If Ja could play tonight, do you play him or do you maybe wait for Game 4?
I mean, what's the playoffs? So I would want to. If he wants to go and the medical staff is like, oh, he's fine, I'm playing him. This is the playoffs. I mean, this is when, like, dude, this is the time of where you play. Through injury, I mean, you know, everything. Dude, Kobe in a regular season game played on shot free throws on a torn Achilles and swished both of them. He was like almost 40.
That's a whole nother beast. R.I.P. to Black Mamba. Well, yeah, man, this is just a fun one to watch. I agree. I still have the Grizzlies coming out with this. They need Ja to come back at least by Game 4. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see him tonight, but I can't wait to see clearly the Brooks LeBron banter. I thought we were going to see that Game 1. I feel that's part of the reason why the Grizzlies lost Game 1. I didn't feel that Brooks was his typical, you know, Brooks self in that Game 1.
In Game 2, he was all chirping at LeBron.
Yeah, and it's going to be something.
To get into it. Like,
then the other storyline, where is Shannon Sharp sitting tonight? Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Is that going to be something? You know, now I'm sure Shannon Sharp doesn't want to get into anything because he doesn't want to become the story. So I'm sure he's going to try to avoid it. But are the Grizzlies going to seek him out? Are they going to try to egg him on?
It would be really interesting to see. But see Brooks and them kind of
that'll be really interesting. So
that'll be interesting.
Is there going to be a Shannon Sharp confrontation tonight? Ooh. So we will see. But no, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be, you know, great for the league. As long as, you know, nothing crazy breaks off. It's going to be really, really fun to watch. And yeah, still have the Grizzlies. We picked them in 7. But I think they will end up pulling this. I think they're younger, although the Lakers made some great moves. They made some great moves, and Pelinka deserves credit for possibly being GM of the year with those, or executive of the year with those moves. But I think the Grizzlies still have enough, and the Lakers are still overrated with what they've done. People are overrating them simply by saying, people are saying they have 2 top 10 players in the NBA. No, they don't. As great as LeBron, again, no disrespect to LeBron. He's one of the greatest ever. But just at this stage in his career, 20 years in, as everybody likes to say, he's not a top 10 player. So
year 20.
Right. So that overrates the Lakers because of that. I mean, people are looking at AD. AD is a top 10 player some nights. Okay. And then LeBron is just past that point. Still a great player, but he's past that point. So because of that, and because of the Laker brand, people are overrating them a tad. And so if the Grizzlies can get Ja back, I think they take care of business and win the series.
I've heard some people say it's like championship or bust.
Right.
It's like that's not the case. And then the whole year 20 thing. It's It's like, dude, you say oh, in year 20, he's doing this and this and this. But like they say about LeBron, but then if he doesn't have a good game in the playoffs, like, oh, well, here's in year 20. What do you expect him to do? So you like pull that year 20 card on him, like whenever he does something good or bad.
It's a double saying. And they've been saying the year since 13. Ever since year 13. They've been getting year 13, year 14.
In year 13, he was like 30 years old.
Yeah, and you're old enough to know that because you've been hearing them say the year every single year.
Ever since I've had memory of basketball. Yep. Like, oh, in year 17.
Yep. All right. Well, the last one that we're gonna get into, oh man, you see he's got the shirt. Ooh, we got to end on this one. We got to end on this one, y'all. The Sacramento Kings, the Light the Beam Kings, are playing the Golden State Warriors. The Kings are up 2-1. They play game 4 Sunday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. ABC is going to be a great game. Do or die, must win for the Golden State Warriors to keep their championship hopes alive. What's up with this one?
Well, I mean, the Warriors, of course, we got this. This is all we do. We 2-0, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, whatever it is. We can come back from anything. And this time we were down 2-0. And, we did 2-0. Then we just took it back to Golden State, Chase Center. We won this one. Then we're going to win the next one. I think we took all life from the Kings. Because the one thing they had was their scoring. And now, and we were without two of our best, without Draymond and we're without Gary Payton. And we still beat them by 17. They didn't even score 100. They were the best offense in the league this year. They didn't even score 100 points. So, without two of our best defenders. So, we're taking the life out of them. This is just horrible.
Well,
and they will not light the beam anymore.
They'll light that beam.
This game 2 was the last time that the beam was lit.
You better hope, because if all those kilowatts are shot up into the universe, you are in trouble.
What is it, like 6 1,000 watt purple lasers in the atmosphere?
I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, you better hope you don't see it. Man,
what even is a kilowatt?
I tell you what.
Does that even exist?
Oh, of course it does. Yeah.
You're not a scientist.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I am a little bit. So, man, let me tell you something. If they win tonight, if the Kings win game 4, we will see the beam from here. We will see the beam from North Carolina.
The beam will not be lit. The beam is not lit on a road game. The beam.
I think it is.
No, it's not. It's only home.
I don't know. I bet you. Oh, you know what? I bet you they light it Sunday if they win. I bet you they light it
Sunday.
I bet you they light it.
No, they can't because it's on the road.
It doesn't matter. If they win that road game, they will light the beam in Sacramento. I guarantee you. Yes, I guarantee you they will. Because then that means the series would be over.
Yeah, the Sacramento Kings are really sad if you think about it. They light the beam for their first playoff game win in 16 years.
Well,
that is awful.
They light the beam after every win.
When we won the championship and we didn't like anything. we won the championship and we didn't like anything. We just had our parade, had cigars, and went home. And we're like, we're here for next year.
Really? Did you have a cigar?
Huh?
Did you have a cigar?
I don't know, man. But yeah, I know Curry did. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, man. I can't wait for this. It's going to be huge. It is a must win. Can you win with Draymond Green back? Is he holding you back?
Well, Draymond's interesting, but I feel like we can win with or without him. However, whatever the situation calls for.
Whatever it calls for.
If he is in the lineup, then we can win. If he is not, then we can still win. So that is how it is.
Whatever it calls for. All right. We'll leave it there. I'm not going to get on my Draymond Green rant today. So we stayed on the light. I don't even have the energy for it. So we'll just see what happens in game 4. But yeah, this is tough. I still have the Warriors. They're gonna have to pull out all their championship medal and experience, which I feel that they will. I think they have enough in the tank to get by, but it's going to take it all. It's going to take it all, not only for Game 4, but then they have to win in Sacramento. That's the thing. Yeah, it's great that you blew them out. It's great that you look so great, but you have to win in Sacramento, and that crowd is amazing. So that's the games you have to get. You have to not only win this Game 4, but then you have to win either Game 5 or Game 7.
We can win.
So
we can win. When we are prepared and ready for these situations, we can win wherever. We can win. We can win in the Golden One Arena. We like to light through the beams. And
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's gonna be must-see TV. All right. Well, before we get out of here, again, NBA Finals. So you had the Milwaukee Bucks and Golden State Warriors NBA Finals. You still sticking with that?
Yep. Warriors winning back to back. And you know what we should do? We should light like a gold beam into the atmosphere just to mock Kings. That would be awesome. Great. Like, yeah, what?
Yeah, we will see. Well, yeah, and I have the Boston Celtics. Again, still have Boston Celtics getting to the NBA Finals. Have them playing the Memphis Grizzlies. So that's very much an out on the limb pick. Looking a bit shaky, but have
they're looking really shaky
right now. But I have on deck. If they get knocked out, I have the Denver Nuggets on deck right now.
Seriously,
they are looking good.
You can't do this. You can't have you can't have teams on deck.
Well,
that's not how it works.
If my team gets knocked out, then I have to go with somebody else. So I'm
not even thinking.
I may have no choice but to do that.
I'm not even thinking about that right now. I'm focused. I'm not even thinking about that. Okay. So I know what's gonna happen.
Well, you may be thinking about it tomorrow night, because if y'all lose tomorrow night,
well, we're not going to lose tomorrow night.
We're gonna see.
We're in Golden State.
I hope
we don't
for your
lose
sake,
in Golden State.
Listen, and then you have to get up and go to school the next morning. Oh, and you know what? And what's even so? See, what time is the game? Okay, at least the game's during the daytime, so you'll know before you go to bed. So okay, at least you won't wake up going to school and then see that your dreams are crushed. At least you'll be.
No, we can come back from 3-1. I mean, that's not gonna happen. It's gonna be 2-2. And go back to Sacramento, come back to Golden State, and then we'll win the series, and it'll be over. And we'll play Memphis.
We're gonna see.
And then we'll beat Memphis just like we did last year.
All right. Well, hey, it's our time. Thank you for checking us out, Pick'em Pros. We appreciate love and support. Keep checking us out. Subscribe if you have not already. We'll be back with plenty of shorts on YouTube throughout the week as we have all these games. And, of course, we'll be back next week as we get ready for round 2. A lot of teams will already be in round 2. And then we'll have probably some Game 7s of round 1. So we look forward to talking about that next week. Until the end, Pick'em Pros. Later.